How do you do, and welcome to Rauta's Chicago edition. Well, we're not technically in Chicago, but what we have here is a Chicago-based band called Russian Circles. Now, if that name doesn't ring you any bells, you probably haven't been viewing the channel for a very long time, or maybe you just think it's unmetal because such a weird, peculiar name. To be honest, I found that name originally when I heard the band rather peculiar, and it was until today actually when I bothered to kind of find out what the name actually means or has references to, and that is ice hockey drills in fact. Now, live and learn moment is over. We have here Russian Circles with their brand new album Blood Year, which is out 2nd of August 2019. That is, the release date is actually today. Now, I was expecting a physical copy from the label, which was promised to me, and what I got is indeed physical CDR promo. So, technically speaking, nothing to show you except a kind of a photocopied covers in the CDR. Well, there wouldn't be lyrics anyway because Russian Circles is fully instrumental band. It's post-metal, some would say even post-rock, but I think it's, I know it's kind of a written water kind of a dividing line, a thin red line that separates post-rock from post-metal, but we don't go to that genre discussion, not with this video anyway, so we just focus on Blood Year and what's it all about. Now, a little background story before I actually want to talk about this music is that I originally found Russian Circles about 2010 through a friend of mine. Had a little bit of evening going on and my friend wanted to present me this band. And I mean, he's usually more into death metal, thrash metal, black metal even. Played in a couple of bands and it was kind of surprising that he would, present this band to me. But soon I was like blown away by this majesty of this band. I mean, it's fully instrumental, was already back then. It was their third album, Geneva. And it was totally different than I have been listening to previously. Very heavy, very kind of dark in a way. Not dark like dark metal or black metal, but kind of a very kind of a thick atmosphere. Kind of something bad is about to happen. And it was always still at the same time very groovy, very kind of catchy, but no vocals present, of course, because it's instrumental. So it was very captivating for me, kind of discovering even a new genre. And from that moment, I started to love this band. At first, I was like, maybe it was because we were just, doing a little bit of that. But eventually, I started to listen to more of this album and I was like, okay, I really like this band. I want to know more about this. I went for the previous music, which wasn't previous album that is, but it wasn't that good. A couple of years, or actually, I think like 1 year later, came the next album, Impros. That was very good also. And from that point, I started to check out the later albums, Memorial, Guidance, 2016, and I still like them very much. So I was expecting a lot from Blood Year also, because having like 4 or 5 strong albums in a row, it made me to kind of create this musical bond, liking this band very much. I want to underline this, that you understand that I'm just not randomly listening to this band or finding out some new band. So I was having high expectations when I heard that Russian Circles is out with a new album. And I must say, this is rather good an album, but it's nowhere near to those 4 previous albums that I mentioned. And unfortunately so, because I was expecting something at least the same quality, maybe even better, who knows. But that's how the saying goes, we're only disappointed to our own expectations because of them, not because of any other reasons. Anyway, Blood Year is clearly one of those albums that is very much kind of a continuation to the band's previous encounters. That is, it's still fully instrumental, more lengthy songs than otherwise. it's very groovy. It's very kind of a dark still, but I think something magical has vanished. I mean, if I compare this one to the previous ones, and I just don't get my finger around it. It's just like it's escaping me when I'm trying to look for it. It's like it's no like something it's creeping out in the shadows, and you take your flashlight and okay, no, no, no. Whenever you move the light towards the shadow, it's just gone. And when you just move your light away, and you suddenly start seeing it, you're like peripheral vision. I don't know if this explanation makes any sense at all. I get it, but I'm trying to figure out that I don't quite understand this album. I mean, I get it, the music and all that stuff, but I don't get why this particular album doesn't have the magic, the magnetic feeling that is so much more present with the previous albums. Because I've been listening to them quite a lot, especially Geneva and Empress. Not so much with Guidance because I don't have it in physical copy, so it's kind of a left with the streaming services. But I mean, I've enjoyed those albums. Let's just put it this way. And with Blood Year, I don't have that going on. I don't have this kind of a sweet feeling in my stomach like, okay, I'm gonna fall in love again with this band. So, still I want to kind of emphasize that this is a good album, but it's just not like a masterpiece level of an album. More like somewhere between a decent and a really good one. This is a solid release, it's continuation, but it's much like Rammstein's recent album. Very safe bet. But no boundaries have been crossed, no new stones have been turned. So it's like, okay, this is just another dose of this particular band, but without no memorable songs as such. You cannot have the first impression impact. So if I was a first timer with the band, I might feel a little bit different and then find out those other albums and be like, okay, this is great band. And now I'm like, okay, nice album, but is there anything else? So, in case you haven't heard the band, I still think you should give it a chance, unless you're very allergic to instrumental music in the first place, or if you're allergic with your prejudice towards post this and post that kind of music. I think put those thoughts aside and give this one a chance. It's very different from your average metal, but it's very heavy nevertheless. It's not very emotional. The lack of vocals just created kind of a different kind of a feeling to this album, but not in a bad way, I might add. So there you have it. Blood Year is here, and it's nice album, but it's not great. But of course, you will judge for yourself whether or not you will find this album more or less likable than me. Anyway, looking forward to your comments. So see you there with more Rauta content coming your way.